Hello everyone, welcome to another Restful yoga session. Today we are doing yin yoga, and for anyone who has not done yin before, it is restful because you're holding a pose for a couple minutes at a time, but it's usually a little bit less propped up as a restorative class would be, and it's more about getting a stretch versus just finding comfort in each pose. So these are a little bit more intense classes than the true restful yoga classes are, just because we're stretching the connective tissue. And I don't want to get too much into it on here just because I don't want to waste a bunch of time. But I want you to hold the poses and be as still as you can be. If you get any sharp shooting pains or anything like that, come out of it, loosen up on the stretch a little bit, or come out of it entirely. Otherwise, try to be still and really sit with the sensations that you feel. So all you'll really need as far as props go today is maybe a blanket or two to sit on. I'm sitting on a folded blanket under my hips just to prop you up a little bit. So you can use any kind of blanket that you want. You might need a couple of blankets. You want to be able to sit up comfortably where you're not slumping through the spine. So whatever amount of blankets you need for that. And then the last thing that you might want is some sort of prop. We're going to do a wide-legged forward fold. If you want to have something for your forehead to rest on, you can use like disinfectant wipe containers, or you can prop up pillows, or get creative with what you've got at home. And you don't even necessarily need it. You can just let the head hang heavy for that one. But other than that, you should be good with props. So go ahead and press pause, get all of your props ready to go, and we will get started. So we are gonna start in shoelace pose or cow face pose. In Hatha yoga, they call it cow face. So we're gonna stack the knees on top of one another. So bring your left leg down, knees pretty much straight in front of you, and the left ankle is close to the right hip. And then you're gonna wrap the right leg on top. You can use blankets, or if you have yoga blocks, you can use a block here to prop you up if it's a little bit much, or you can even prop up underneath both knees with blankets or pillows or whatever, if this is uncomfortable. And then play around with where the feet are. So the feet can be really close to the hips, or you can start walking them out a little bit wider for a different stretch. So find a good spot for the legs. And then you can either stay upright like this, or you can start to walk the hands forward. You can come down on the elbows if you've got that mobility. We will be here for 2 minutes. And as the time goes on, if you feel like you can start to sink a little bit deeper into the pose, feel free to move further into the pose. And again, if you're feeling sharp shooting pains, come out of the pose. That's not the point. You might feel some intense sensations, but you don't want it to be sharp shooting pains or anything like that. So our main objectives are to get into the pose, then be still in the pose, and really just sit with whatever comes up in our body and whatever comes up in our mind. It's okay to have emotions or sensations come up in the body and in the mind. It's normal. That's part of this practice, is to really just sit with that instead of avoiding, as most of us do. Take a little scan through the body and try to find somewhere that you can find a little bit more ease, somewhere in the body that you can relax a little bit. And slowly walk yourself up if you weren't up already. And we're gonna switch sides. So as we change positions, I want you to move really slowly. Because when we're stretching the connective tissue, it's important that we move more slowly so that your muscles and your tissues and everything has kind of time to react, and so you're not doing a knee-jerk reaction that can contribute to some pain down the road, almost like a strain kind of feeling. So we want to move slowly. So we're going to move opposite sides. So right leg is down first, right heel towards left hip, and then stack the other knee above. This side might be different, so just be mindful of that. Use any and all of your props as you would like. Same options here, staying seated up or leaning forward. And we will be here for 2 minutes. Do your best to find some ease. Use your breath to facilitate a little bit deeper relaxation in the muscles. And gently walk yourself up. Extend both legs long, moving nice and slow. If you want, you can flex the toes and then point the toes, just to kind of get some circulation back in the legs. Then we're going to set up for our wide-legged forward fold. So each leg out to each side, however wide is comfortable. If you've got something to prop the forehead up, bring that a little bit closer. And then when you're ready, if this is a stretch here, you can just rest here. If you want more, you can start to slowly move your hands, forearms forward. You either let the head just kind of hang heavy down or prop it up. And we will be here for 3 minutes. Again, here scanning through the body to find any areas that can release. In yin, we don't flex the feet, we don't flex the toes like we do in a normal hatha class. Just let everything be as relaxed as possible. So check through the body. And let the breath help you relax and release. Slowly bring yourself back up. And slowly, one leg at a time, bring it up. And then slide it forward. Same thing with the other leg. You can alternate bending a knee, straightening a knee. You can do the same ankle palms just to kind of get things moving a little bit. We've got one more seated posture, and then we'll get on our backs. So we're gonna bring the right knee in and then open the knee out. So however far this foot wants to go, it doesn't need to be very far at all. You don't have to force it in. I don't want you pushing. There's no effort here. If this knee, the bent knee, is really high up off of the floor, you can use a block or blankets or pillows to prop that knee up a little bit. If it feels comfortable, leave it be. And then you're just gonna frame the straight leg with your hands. A little bit of a turn of the chest towards that extended leg. And then if and when you're ready, you can start to walk forward with the hands. And relax into your stretch. We're gonna be here for 3 minutes on each side. Here too, if you have something, if you want to prop your head up, you can put something on top of your leg to help relax the head and neck. And where can you release? Where can you send the breath to help your body surrender to the pose? Where can you remove effort? Slowly bring the head up. Slowly walk the hands back. When you're ready, extend that leg long. And then we'll bring the other leg in, however far. Again, the side might feel different, so just take a beat before you get into it. Notice. And then if you want to put something under that bent knee, go ahead. And if and when you're ready, you can start to walk the hands and the chest forward over that extended leg. If you find, especially as we go on, and there's longer time where it is quiet, if you find that the mind is racing and it's getting carried away with all sorts of thoughts, try to just gently label those thoughts. Are you making a to-do list? Are you agonizing over the past? Are you worried about the future? Just put a little label on it. And then try to let it go. And try to get your brain back here into the present moment, into the sensations of the body, into the breath. few more breaths here. And then slowly lift the head, walk the hands back. Extend that leg long. And we're going to make our way onto our backs. You shouldn't need any props for these last couple things. So you can just move them out of the way. Lay all the way flat. And we're going to do a happy baby pose. So when you're ready, you're going to bring both knees up into the chest. If this is comfortable here, hugging both knees in, using the hands to gently pull at either the knees or the thighs, whatever you have access to. You can stay here, or you can grab onto the feet with the hands, inner or outer feet, doesn't really matter. If you're doing happy baby, the feet are pointing pretty much straight up to the sky. The knees are towards the armpits, kind of more on the outer edges of the torso versus in front of the torso. Keeping the low back nice and long, so not letting the pelvis pull up from the mat. Try to keep the lower back long, just for a breath or two. And then let that release as well. So you're removing all effort from the pose. And we will be here for 3 minutes. And as sensations arise, acknowledge them and label them if you can. Is it a dull sensation? Is it a stretch? Sometimes we misinterpret sensation for pain. And yin yoga is really great to help us sit with the sensation and really interpret it before we decide that we're afraid of it or want to avoid it. And as you can, just try to sit with those sensations, as long as they're not sharp shooting. And do your best to keep your mind on the present moment, focusing either on the sensations of the body or on the breath, or just continually scanning through the body and see if you can find any areas that can release a little bit further. a couple more breaths. And gently, slowly bring the feet down so that the feet are flat on the floor. And do just some really small windshield wiper knees, both knees going just a little bit over to the right, just a little bit over to the left. Our last posture of the day is Shavasana or corpse pose. If you want a blanket under the knees, go ahead and set that up. Just make sure you're nice and slow, rolling over to the side to sit up, to set that up. Otherwise, when you're ready, you can extend the legs long. Really take up space wherever you're at. Arms wide, legs wide. Let everything be heavy. I'm going to stay here for 5 minutes and then I will guide you out. If you want to stay for longer, you're welcome. If you want to cut it a little short, you may do so as well. Wherever you're at, just take a little scan from the tips of the toes, slowly through the feet, the ankles, the shins, calves, knees, upper legs, pelvis, low back, abdomen, mid-back, ribs, upper back, chest, shoulders, down each arm, upper arms, elbows, lower arms, wrists, hands, up into the neck, the chin, the cheeks, the nose, the lips, the eyebrows, the eyes, eyelids, space between the eyebrows, temples, upper forehead, all the way around through the scalp to the back of the head. Everything is relaxed. Everything is at ease. Notice the belly gently rising and falling with the inhale and the exhale. And focus your attention just on that. Take a deep breath in. Long, slow breath out. If you want to stay here for longer, stay here for as long as you'd like. If you're ready to come out, gently start to wiggle the fingers and toes, the wrists and the ankles. And stretch however feels good. When you're ready, if you'd like, you can bring the hands to a prayer position at the heart center. The love and light in me sees and honors that same love and light in you. Namaste.